Carolina Panthers have lost their identity.
Subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon so you never miss any video from my channel.
Yo! Welcome to LCameraTV. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share this with cool things like Facebook and Reddit and Instagram and wherever else. And guys, don't forget to hit the bell notification, man. Hit the bell icon so you don't miss a video. I upload randomly, so I don't want you guys to miss out. So definitely hit the bell notification. When you see squiggly lines, you know you have been notified. And guys, the Carolina Panthers took another L. That makes 3 in a row. And we got a lot to talk about, man. We just got to, recap what happened. A lot of things are bad as far as certain aspects. Certain players are not living up to their billing. Certain players are not, playing discipline. And certain players, I just don't feel like, should get a contract. So we got a lot to talk about, guys. So let's get started. So the Carolina Panthers just lost to the Seattle Seahawks on Sunday. That makes their 3rd loss in 3 weeks. We lost 30-27. And it's just the Panthers don't know what they're doing anymore. You know what I'm saying? We broke our undefeated streak at home. Well, they broke our undefeated streak at home. And be honest with you, man, the Panthers lost their identity. Now, before I get into why they lost their identity, first thing I want to talk about is Graham Gano. And I don't know if he has the yips. I don't know what the situation is. But before the last 2 games, he was pretty good. I think he made like 26 of 26 field goals. I think he made, no, actually I think he made, 26 field goals. You know what I'm saying? I think he made, almost all his extra points. But in the last 2 games, he missed a field goal, an extra point, and another field goal. You know what I'm saying? And be honest with you, you could attribute some of the losses to that. Because obviously, if he would have kicked the field goal against Detroit or the extra point, we probably would have won that game, just being honest. If he had made the 2. And also against the Seattle Seahawks. If he would have made the field goal that was 50 yards away, we would have, even the Seahawks would have to score a touchdown, and that changes the whole game. But he did not. And like I said, I don't know what's going on with him. I don't know what's wrong with him. It's kind of sad, man. It's kind of sad. And, I've seen people saying Gano has to go and all that stuff like that, whatever. And I can't say that. You know what I'm saying? I can't say Graham Gano has to get, cut or whatever. Because, remember, earlier this season, he hit a 63-yard field goal to win a game for us. So we can't be ready to cut him after 2 bad games when, he won a game for us also against the Giants. So, I'm not, on the cut Graham Gano situation, but I do want to figure out what happened to the guy, in the beginning of the season. Because he was not even just in the beginning of the season, but most of his career, he's been a pretty clutch kicker, man. But recently, man, like I said, I don't know if it's the yips. I don't know if, Ron Rivera not going for 2 instead of kicking the field goal, kind of worked against him. And, felt like we didn't have the confidence in him or something. But for the most part, man, he's not playing like how he's supposed to. He's not playing like we know he can. And that's a problem for us, man. It's definitely a problem. But it's not all bad because our offense looked amazing, man. And that's me being honest. Our offense, Cam Newton, at one point in the game was 14 for 14. Didn't miss a pass. Had like 150 yards and a touchdown. He ended the game with 25 passes completed out of 30 attempts. I think he had like 2 touchdowns and 1 interception. He played amazing. Christian McCaffrey played amazing. He had 241 yards total or something like that, whatever. 2 touchdowns. He played amazing. DJ Moore balled out. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to be honest with you, man. Like I said, I'm not mad. I think this lineup is DJ Moore, Curtis Samuel, Jarius Wright, and Christian McCaffrey, and Greg Olsen is the best lineup we got. Because DJ Moore was making a shake. Curtis Samuel was making a shake. And it was just like, I felt like they were more productive than when Devin Funchess was on the field or Torrey Smith was on the field. So the offense is looking amazing. Obviously, the O-line still needs a little bit of work, little tweaking, stuff like that, whatever. But for the most part, the offense looks like it's clicking. North Turner has done wonders for Cam, and not just Cam, but the whole offense in general. So that's definitely a positive, whatever. It's definitely something we can take away from, this game, whatever. But I still won't say we have a high-powered offense, though. We have a good offense, but it's not high-powered. It's not like the Chiefs out here or the Rams. You know what I'm saying? or the Saints. It's just a very good offense. You know what I'm saying? We run the ball effectively. We have more rushing yards than the Seattle Seahawks, and they had the #1 rush offense in the league. So that just goes to show you. I think Christian McCaffrey by himself had more rush yards than all their running backs. That's just me being honest. And the offense looks amazing. The offense is clicking, and it is something positive we could take away. Now, mind you, should we have got the ball closer for Graham Gano? Of course we should have. I'm not saying we shouldn't have. You know what I'm saying? And should Cam Newton have thrown a pick in the end zone? Of course not. You know what I'm saying? That was an ill-advised pass. But for the most part, Cam played a pretty good game. You know what I'm saying? Yes, he threw an interception, but it was kind of like a touchback. I mean, now mind you, it took points off the board because obviously we could have scored a touchdown or a field goal. You know what I'm saying? That could have changed the dynamic of the game. And I'm not saying Cam Newton, you know what I'm saying, deserved to get exempt. But I do think, putting up 27 points should be enough to win a football game. Putting up 30 points should be enough to win a football game. And we religiously have done that recently as far as the offensive side. But we haven't been winning the games that we should be winning, scoring that amount of points. So, like I said, the offense is playing good. You know what I'm saying? I don't think there's much to fix or critique on the offensive side. I mean, Torrey Smith didn't even seem like he got an in at all because these guys are playing so great. So, Curtis Samuel's snaps went up dramatically. The offense looked really good. So, I mean, I'm not going to lie, man. I wouldn't be mad if this stays our lineup, or even when Devin Funchess come back, man. Maybe he shouldn't be in the starting rotation because this offense looked really good against the Seahawks defense. And finally, the reason why I think the Carolina Panthers lost their identity is because when Ron Rivera was there, when he got picked to be the head coach, he had a very simple philosophy. Run the ball, play great defense. Obviously, you're going to have a good quarterback that's going to make plays, but for the most part, our offense is predicated on the run and the defense. Run and the defense. Even when Dave Gettleman got there, he followed suit. He wanted hog-mollies so they can run the ball and they can play good defense. Big up front on both sides of the ball. That was his philosophy. That was their identity. That was Ron Rivera's identity. That was our football's identity. Defense, run game. Defense, run game. Now, that's been our philosophy. Well, one part of that philosophy is still the same. Because obviously, Christian McCaffrey had 100-something rushing yards. Cam Newton had a bunch of rushing yards. And even before that game, he was number 7th in the league in rushing. So we were still running the ball effectively. The difference in that is the defense. The defense is like a shell of itself. And be honest with you, I blame Ron Rivera. I blame, Marty Herney. I blame Dave Gettleman. And I'm going to tell you why. They have always skimped out on the back end of the defense. They always have. Josh Norman, they let walk out the door. They said James Bradbury is going to be a better version of Josh Norman. From what I'm seeing, he's not. Safeties, they never really did. Kirk Coleman, he's gone. Kirk Coleman was a great player for us. He's gone. They get Mike Adams. They moved Mike Adams to free safety. Mike Adams, obviously, is an older player. He's just not living up to the billing, really. You know what I'm saying? Eric Reed should have got paid from the very beginning, but they decided to go to Norris Cersei. He gets concussions. Then we had to bring Eric Reed in. Eric Reed plays well, but guess what now? Now we have him on a one-year deal. Team's going to offer him contracts. We could have probably solidified a contract with him if we didn't pay Norris Cersei, because he's going to be on our books. The only good secondary player we have is Dante Jackson, and he got injured that game. But the undisciplined play from the defense was crazy. If the defense knew that they had to get downfield to get the field goal, they leave Tyler Lockett wide open for like a 40-yard game. And then they just run the clock out and kick a field goal. Why? Like, it's crazy to me how Russ Wilson bombed Corner Elder. Touchdown. The secondary has been getting abused all season. We have, and this is crazy, right? Everybody says, oh, Cam Newton is, this, that, and third. He's not limited billing. The defense, the last 3 games, the 3 games that we lost, have created 0 turnovers and allowed 35 points average. That's outrageous. Our defense has never allowed that many points. And somewhere along the way, they got complacent. They got complacent. They thought, okay, yeah, we're a good defense. We're always gonna be a good defense. We have good guys in the defensive locker room, and we don't need to improve. They did not improve. They got older players. They kept on getting older players. They brought Julius Peppers back. He's an older player. They brought Wes Horton back. He never panned out, to what we thought he was going to be. Thomas Davis, he's getting old. Mike Adams, he's an older player. Instead of getting younger, dynamic players, they went and got older players, veteran players, that they thought were going to, see the game better and move quicker. And from what I'm seeing, they're not doing that. They paid K1 short, and I'm not going to lie, he hasn't been doing much. They put Yadantari Poe. He's getting pushed around like a child out here. You know what I'm saying? They paid Mario Addison. And Mario Addison's a good player, but it got to the point where the defense got old. The defense, got complacent. And now we're in a situation where the defense can't do anything against teams. It's basically, we're in a shootout every game, and if we don't score 50, 60 points, we're going to lose. Because the defense can't stop anybody. James Bradbury is a liability. The last two games, James Bradbury get mossed by Galladay, whatever his name is, for a touchdown. That's how we lose the Lions game. Tyler Lockett is, Well, actually, I think it might have been Captain Munlin that got burnt by Tyler Lockett. So it's like the second, and then even that, Captain Munlin is an older player that we got from the Vikings. We drafted Corn Elway, he never gets in. And then the one opportunity he does get in, which he's supposed to be a nickel corner, he's on the outside, getting, beat by whoever, it is on the outside. Because Dante Jackson has been injured. The defense is a liability. And I know we've been bagging on Eric Washington. We're saying Eric Washington's a fault. It's his fault. I don't think it's Eric Washington, man. I think Eric Washington is part of the problem, but he's not the whole problem. Because at some point, the defense has to want to be dominant. The defense has to want to be, just like how they said Cam Newton wants the ball at the end of the game. The defense should be like, we got this at the end of the game. But they haven't been. And I feel like there's certain players that are fighting. Luke Kuechly, I think, is still well engaged. But then I think there's other players that are like, hey, man, we trying. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's sad. And the 2 sacks that we got on Russell Wilson were from blitzes. They weren't from pressure from our D linemen. We have multiple issues on the defense. And the worst part about it is, we spend more money on the defense than we ever did on the offense. We spent way more money on the defense and never gave Cam pieces, weapons, or anything like that, whatever. Now he finally has the weapons, and the defense is not living up to the billing. We should have won 2 out of the last 3 games that we played, but we lost all 3 of them, and 1 of them was at home. I'm of the mindset, and everybody's like, oh yeah, we still get in the playoffs, and that's the truth. But I'm like, do we really want to get in the playoffs just to get embarrassed by some other team? Because at the end of the day, man, I'm a Panthers fan. I love my Panthers. But Cam can only do so much. The offense can only do so much. You know what I'm saying? As much as I, I think these guys are great players, they can only do so much. We're not built for 50, 60-yard, 60-point games, 40-point games. We're not built like that. That's not our style of football. Our style of football is time of possession, run the ball, defense. And now we're in a situation where we got to do that just to win games. So maybe it's Ron Rivera, like Cam Newton said, they got to start looking themselves in the face, man, and see what type of team they want to be, because they just imploded in the last 3 games. So we'll see what happens, going forward. But yeah, man, this is not the Panthers team that I remember. This is a whole different team. You know what I'm saying? There's no defense being played, and it's crazy because of it. In free agency and in the draft, what's going to happen? We're going to work on the defense, and still Cam Newton's going to be in the same situation where he doesn't get no linemen, and he doesn't get the pieces that he needs, and we're going to expect him to do everything with nothing. But that's just how the Panthers roll, huh? Well, that's it for me, guys. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share this with Shelco, things like Facebook and Reddit and Instagram and wherever else. And guys, get in the comment section, man. Let me know how you feel about the team, man. Do you think the Panthers lost their identity? Do you think they're, they're lost in general? And how do you think, you know what I'm saying, we can fix it. I'm like, I ain't gonna lie, man. Like I said, I think the best way to fix this situation is by getting rid of, you know, Marty Herney, getting rid of Eric Washington, you know what I'm saying, and bringing in a new GM that can, you know, revamp and give a different look to the free agency process and the draft process, because Marty Herney and Dave Gettleman didn't do what they were supposed to do. So that's my opinion. Put in the comment section how you think you could fix this, because at some point in time we gotta fix it. Make sure you check out your LCameraTV apparel, shirts, hats, mugs, all types of cool stuff. Link is in the description below. Check out the Patreon page. That link is also in the description below. You feel me? Check out my dog Renan. See the video. His video is gonna be at the very end of the lines, at the end screen. Very funny dude, very talented. I think he has really like his stuff. So definitely check him out. Shout out to all your Panther family friends, anybody Panther related, anybody football related. Thank y'all for always tuning in to the live stream and turning up with me, man. Even when we lose, we still be turning up, man. And we be having other fans, you know, from other teams coming in, and they be, you know, turning up too. So shout out to everybody who's check out this live stream. Shout out to everybody who shows love. Shout out to everybody, you know what I'm saying, that supports the channel, man. Thank y'all for always supporting the channel, man. And I'm gonna see y'all next time. Peace.